To kick things off here, you guys, again, I just want to introduce all of us. I'm Coulter Robinson, Director of Business Development at Hostfully. We've got Barbara. She's the VP of Business Development at RedAwning. And then my colleague, Kelly Brown. She is a business development rep here at Hostfully as well. And real quick, just a brief background on Hostfully. Hostfully, we're headquartered in San Francisco. We are fully remote. We've got colleagues all across the world, Argentina, Poland, the UK, Vietnam. So we're everywhere. I'm in Sun Valley, Idaho. But anyways, Hostfully, we've got two platforms that we offer. We offer our property management platform. That's really what you use to run your operations on a day-to-day basis, tip to tail. We've got quite a few features in here. We're not going to touch on all of them, but we focus on channel management. We want to unify all of your channels. So you've got a centralized operating system, a centralized inbox to work within as well. Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com. We've got a direct booking website template that we can provide you with, automated messaging, reporting features, and of course, a ton of integrations and partnerships. One of those today, of course, we're touching on with RedAwning. And then want to point out our digital guidebook platform as well. Our digital guidebook platform, it does integrate with our property management platform. But if you're not using Hostfully's property management platform, guidebooks can be used with any other property management platform out there. Of course, if you use it with our platform, you do get some of the benefits of that direct integration. But this is really designed to optimize and maximize the guest experience, cut down on some of the guest communication. You got features within there like upselling products or services, use this to collect guest emails, and ultimately drive more 5-star reviews. You want to optimize that guest experience, make sure that they have a wonderful time in your home. They don't have to bother you as the property manager. You don't have to be bothered as the property manager, which is always important as well. And like I just mentioned, our property management platform, I want to give a huge shout out to Terry White, one of the creators of VRMB's PMS Selector. They shouted out us saying this is one of the best softwares I have ever seen. So, of course, that recognition is always nice, but we're working on the back end to improve that. And digital guidebooks, like I touched on, we've got some great feedback there from Erica saying she was totally blown away by the guidebook platform and it saved her so much time and provides that professional and modern experience. Of course, a little bit better than that PDF document that a lot of folks have typically been providing their guests in the past. So it's just a one-stop shop. It's link-based. The guest does not need to download any application to access that guidebook. It's also got a QR code that comes with it. I find that helpful. Put that QR code within the home. The guest can go ahead and pull up those guidebooks right there within the property. So again, just maximizing that guest experience. And then real quick, I just want to shout out, like we're doing with Barbara today and RedAwning, we've got a ton of webinars that we've done previously on our website. We're always going to be doing webinars here going on in the future. So feel free to go to hostfully.com and refer to those. We've also got a ton of reports that we've done related to the vacation rental industry and space as a whole. So see some of those studies, some of those trends and industry insights right on hostfully.com on our website. You've got the link there as well if you want to go ahead and search that. So a ton of available content on the website. Utilize that QR code that you got there as well. We'd love to continue to interact with you guys and be of any help that we can. But with that being said, that's all I've got on the Hostfully side. Let's get to the meat of the presentation. So I'm going to hand it off to Barbara here. Barbara, take it away. And again, don't hesitate to throw any questions in that questions tab as they might come up. But Barbara, floor is all yours.
All right. Thank you, Coulter. That's a tough act to follow. I'm glad you had a lot of positivity and all of that information, because now I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes, I should say, and address the elephant in the room when it comes to vacation rentals, short-term rentals right now. And currently we're seeing a trend, unfortunately, and I just want to start by saying you're not alone, but it is tough out there right now. According to CBS News report, the vacation rental market in some areas has decreased in reservations by around 15%. So we see that the market is moving towards a renter's guest market, and individuals can now find deals and last minute booking accommodations. Additionally, Forbes put out an article that the economic uncertainty may continue a little longer. So to property managers, this means that to have sustainable operations, they may have to, lean towards, the stronghold of technology companies to learn how to navigate for this potential recession. Finally, AirDNA reports that there's almost 1.4 million of short-term rentals available in the U.S. since September 2022, and that's more than ever. So that's actually, making each property manager and owner have more competition out there to compete against for visibility. Sorry, y'all, I need to go to the next slide here. So at recent times, we're seeing a decline in reservation and occupancy rate. So we're seeing a decline from even 2019 so 2003 is even lower than 2019. So the recent challenges that, what's contributing to these recent challenges are increased competition. We're seeing a growing market saturation, which makes it harder for hosts and property managers to stand out and secure bookings because you have so much competition. We're also seeing a lot of algorithm changes. So frequent updates on platforms, for example, Airbnb, they can affect listing visibility, and that's a huge impact as well. We're seeing regulatory shifts, stricter regulations in some areas. Now, we do understand that that's something that we may not be able to overcome. And, that's something that may have to be voted against or voted for. But we are seeing a lot of that that make legal operations more challenging for hosts and property managers. We're also seeing higher fees. Platforms are charging property managers a significant amount of commission, which are reducing profits. Also, a big one that I am going to talk about in the next couple of slides is changing guest behavior. So post-pandemic guest preferences and behavior has evolved. And are you ready for these new changes? Are you marketing towards these new changes? And, have you thought about what is your next step to marketing your property so you can catch the next trend of traveler that is going to be staying in your properties? Last minute, very last minute, I actually had to get a hold of Coulter and Mitch to re-upload my presentation because I didn't have any of this information in there. And while taking a walk, I was like, you know what? I really need to address this because I was at a conference last week and I had a property manager come up to me and she was a little embarrassed, not even much older than me. And she was like, what the heck is AI? And what are people really doing with AI in this industry? So, we went on in the conversation and she was like, so is this a solution or is this, a problem? She was embarrassed to ask during the breakout sessions, what this was, but felt comfortable enough to come and talk to me about it. And I'm glad that she did. So I wanted to address this to you all. With many property management companies, it may be a solution for them and they love it. And in some, it may be a problem. So I just wanted to address this because this is the new age. We are approaching the AI, the AI generation, should I say? And some individuals may not even know what that means. So let's start off by defining, what is AI? Is it a problem? Is it a solution? What does it mean? It's a branch of computer science that focuses on developing algorithm and computer systems capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, perception, language, understanding, and decision making. So artificial intelligence, that's what AI stands for, and that's what it does. So what is AI doing in the short-term rental market? In the short-term rental market, AI is increasingly integrated into industry to transform how property owners and managers operate their business. One way is revenue management by dynamic pricing, by analyzing historical data, seasonal trends, local events. AI can also forecast problems before they arise. So it's very useful in that aspect. Also, it's great at personalization and recommendations for guest history, their trends on where they like to go, or what restaurants or activities or local attractions they like to visit. So that's a great way to use AI with your guest. Now, using AI for your guest questions. There's some pros and there's some cons with this. And I wanted to go over both of them because AI can be both a problem and a solution, right? So some pros are you have personalized interactions. So AI enables your business to deliver tailored experiences at scale. It's automated. So AI can handle routine tasks, freeing up human staff to focus on more complex issues or growing your business. Is 24/7 availability. We all know our staff doesn't want to work 24/7, even though we feel like we do, right? AI has powered chat boxes that can provide instant responses to guest inquiries, even outside of the business hours. So let's talk about the cons a little bit. One big one is the lack of human touch. So while AI streamlines processes, it may lack the emotional connection. The second one is limited scope. AI may not be able to handle complex or nuanced inquiries as effectively as a human staff. I'm going to put my own personal experience here. It wasn't for a short-term rental, but it was for a long-term rental of a mother-in-law who is moving here in Georgia that we have to take care of. And there was an apartment complex that I was trying to help her get into. Everything was AI. The responses, I just wanted to know if the apartment was on the first floor. And I couldn't get a human being for anything. All the emails and all of the chat boxes was AI. And they continuously kept texting me and emailing me the same thing. I even said, could I please talk to a human being for just one question? I still didn't get the right response. So I ended up taking a break and driving down to the apartment complex. And they did have one on the first floor. But that's something that AI lacked in my experience, is they didn't have that human touch of a very important question that I needed answered right away before I applied somewhere else. So apply that in your short-term rental experience. If you have just AI and no human touch, and somebody wants to know how close it is to the arena or to the local bar that they like to, to visit, if the AI doesn't know the answer to that, they're not getting that human touch, and they're booking somewhere where they are getting that human touch. So I just wanted to, highlight that a bit. Also, technical issues. So AI systems may experience technical glitches or errors that can negatively, sorry, I can't talk, you guys, today, impact the guest experience. For example, today, I use ChatGPT. I'm not the best speller. Now that we have iPhones and technology, I think I forgot how to spell and how to do math because everything is just automatic. So I use ChatGPT a lot when I'm creating email, to paste it in there and say, hey, check the spelling and, grammatical errors. Today, ChatGPT was down, and I said, oh my goodness, I have to use my brain. I have to really see if I spelled all these words right. So that would happen in your industry too. So if you're using just everything API and your AI is down, your guests aren't getting any type of response, not a human response or an AI response. So it's important that you have best of both worlds. And that's what RedAwning offers, is the best of both worlds. By combining AI and a personal communication, our innovative solution includes dynamic pricing and property management across the short-term rental reservation sites. But at the same time, we offer the personalized guest interactions by answering guest questions and inquiries personally, without relying on just AI automatic responses. We also have improved with hearing the request from our property managers and them saying, hey, I still want to answer my Airbnb and VRBO inquiries. So we do give that option to you as well. So on the times that you can answer your Airbnb and VRBO inquiries, you can do that if you want through RedAwning, or you can opt in for us to answer those for you.
Barbara, I'm really glad that you brought AI into this conversation because I have a lot of those similar conversations on a day-to-day basis where a lot of people just want to have AI run every part of their business. And the
Yeah.
communication part is something that I often feel kind of falls through the cracks. And the guests, they do want that personalized touch. So I think that's great that you bring up the best of both worlds and being able to optimize a lot of the business, but still providing that personalized touch. And that's why a lot of us got into vacation rentals. It's humans dealing with humans directly, not humans dealing with, technology.
Exactly. I mean, especially new property managers, some of them have the idea of, hey, like I can get into this business. It's a breeze. I'll just get AI to do everything. I'll get the properties and I just have to hire cleaners and maintenance and I sit back and collect money. And unfortunately, it's not that easy. And I'm sure property managers on here that are watching as well know that is not that easy, that have been in the industry for a long time, that maybe thought it was going to be that easy in the beginning. So yeah, Coulter, there's a lot of discussion about AI these days.
Yeah.
So more than, AI and giving the personal touch, we are also, RedAwning's here for expanding the listing exposure. So, excuse me, demographic data shows that right now 41 travelers prefer booking via online travel agencies, which are called OTAs, or you may hear them called short-term rental vacation sites, such as Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO. Those are all considered short-term rental vacation, reservation sites or OTAs. Also interesting, I found, is that people under 35 years of age are particularly inclined to use OTAs for booking those accommodations. And an average browser abandonment rate for OTAs is around 81%. So what that's indicating is that they're frequently looking at an OTA for a property, but then they're finding a comparison option. So they can be going on social media to see if anybody's actually stayed at that location by hashtag and then the location and seeing any videos on it. Or they could be looking at their home site. Really, social media has really ramped up. So a lot of millennials do tend to look at OTAs, find a property, and then search on social media to see if there's been any experiences, positive experiences, and reviews on that property. Finally, in situations at identical prices, show properties on direct websites. So a property's website and their prices and the OTAs, 70% of them are opting to book that identical price on the OTA versus the property's direct site. I found that really interesting because the old school way, and you hear older property management companies say, oh, direct bookings, I can just get direct bookings. Direct bookings, direct to booking is direct bookings. But really, honestly, 70% of the people that do go directly to your website are going back to an OTA to book that reservation because they booked at that OTA before. They feel comfortable, and they just rather either one, they have subscription, or they're a genius, or whatever. Not genius, like mentally, but there's a genius model on Booking.com. I meant they could be a genius, but they have points or something that they want to redeem on that OTA, right? So just keep that in mind when you're really dependent on your direct website these days, especially with the next trend of traveler. They are abandoning the direct website and still going for the OTA to book the reservation. So the key benefits of RedAwning is it expands listings across multiple various platforms for your maximum exposure. It utilizes advanced marketing and strategies to attract guests. Will even help you with your social media and give you examples of what you should post on your social media according to the trends that are happening today. It simplifies property management for marketing host properties and maximizes revenue through dynamic rate adjustment. And partnerships with like Hostfully to enable direct calendar connections for efficient booking management.
And Barbara, real quick, just kind of on that topic of trends, I know someone did ask a question here. What is the biggest traveler trends for guests in their 20s and 30s? I don't know if you have any direct feedback on that, but if so, I know they'd probably be curious, and us as well.
Yeah, so there's two generations there. So in the 30s, you got the millennials, right? Those are the millennials. In the 20s, you got the Gen Zs, right? So there's two separate different trends, right? So for the millennials, we are seeing the one that I just mentioned in the past slide, where they are going on the OTAs, they're finding a property, but they shop around to see where they can get the cheapest price, one, or two, they want to see this any type of social media interaction of, hey, is there a positive review on this on social media like Facebook or Instagram? The younger ones, like in their 20s, which are starting to make money, because I have a daughter in her 20s and she makes more money than I do, and she travels as well. They are big on influencers, right? So they tend to look at TikTok or Instagram, even Reels. And I see her sending me vacation rentals all the time. Mom, I want to go there. Are they a part of RedAwning? They automatically think that every vacation rental is a part of RedAwning, right? So, but I do see that a big influence in her age and her way of traveling and booking is influencing. She will go online. They do not like to talk to a human being. Like even when they're talking to me as text or FaceTime, but they don't like to pick up a phone and even make their doctor's appointment. I know I digress, but it is a different way of communication. So it is, make sure your text is enabled. Make sure that, the millennials are going to give you a phone call more than the Gen Zs are going to give you a phone call. Also, make sure your social media is up there, that you do have a Facebook, an Instagram, and a TikTok. And let's see. Oh, photos. So both of those generations actually are huge on experiences, right? They don't really care that it's this 5-star or elaborate place. They want to know, what can I do when I'm there? Is there skydiving or is there zip lining? They're big on experiences, and go green. If you're go green, please put that out there. They're more pro, like, I don't know the right word, but
and I think part of what you're probably looking for is like inclusiveness in terms of just
like some of the things they want to do, I'm like, oh, you're crazy, I would never do that, but they love those type of things, like concerts or Coachella. Anyway, I know I kind of went long-winded on that question, but there's kind of two different generations there, and they are a bit different. So just make sure that you're catering to both of them. Or you can use RedAwning and we'll cater to both of them as well for you.
Exactly. And I think you nailed it, because I'm 28, so I fall. Some people say, "Oh, you're millennial," which I think technically I'm millennial. Like, some people they like to group you with Gen Z, but I think you nailed it. It's automations are important, so you've got all the automated communication set up. Experiences is a huge thing, and then they like to price things out. It's an expensive world,
right? Exactly.
They're really price shopping in a lot of scenarios, but I do notice, at least personally too, the experiences, it's a big thing. So I think you love it.
I'm going to add to that, Coulter. I'm glad you brought that. I didn't know you were that age, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
Is it true with you? Because it is, I see with my children or their generation, is it more important for you to have great experiences and vacations than, say, spend a lot of money on a big home that maybe, you don't need right now? Um,
It it is. At
yeah.
least for me personally, I would say it is, and I know my fiance and my friends who I travel with quite a bit. It is. I with a group of about 19 friends the other weekend. I did my bachelor party and we rented out a
Oh,
700
congratulations.
acre property. And,
Mhm,
the property itself, it did the job. We could sleep. It was fun, but it was the ponds that were on the property, the fishing
mhm,
that was on the property. It was the
mhm.
experience of the property. And that's what drew it to all of us. So I think experiences and however you can make yourself more unique. And it doesn't, 700-acre property is unique, but it might be having cornhole in the
Yeah.
backyard of your home or something
Right,
small that they can
right.
experience. And it's not only a place to eat and sleep, it's a place for people to gather and enjoy each other's company and have something for everyone. So I think the experiences, it really, that's why a lot of people my generation are traveling, is for the experience, and it ties into wellness at the end of the day. I think with a lot of
Yeah,
people being able to work
yeah,
remotely, they need good Wi-Fi, they need the amenities within the
right.
home, but they want to work in a place that they can go and enjoy as well. So
Awesome. Great feedback. I just wanted to ask you that because I'm seeing the trend of that as well. So
mhm.
property managers out there that are or owners that are listening, you heard it straight from
The horse's
straight from
mouth.
the horse's mouth. Yeah. That they want experiences and they rather take a great vacation than purchasing a home right now. So give them that
Mhm.
experience in your marketing.
Absolutely.
So how red awning works, basically it's easy listing your property on all the platforms. So we do all of that work for you. We connect your listings to all the multiple channels seamlessly through your Hostfully connection. Red awning takes care of the heavy lifting, and this is so you can focus on your core task and grow your business. So there's minimal effort required for maximum exposure and bookings. Um, Leverage RedAwning's expertise to market your listing on all the platforms where current travelers are traveling. So, like Coulter and I were talking about, all the travelers, every generation, and where they're looking, will make sure that you are on all of those channels. Um, Also assisting you with your marketing strategy to ensure maximum visibility. For example, are you running promos? Do you enable last minute bookings? How can we do that together? Do you want to opt in dynamic pricing? Do you allow short fuse bookings? Because we're seeing a trend with that, with short fuse bookings and booking closer to the time of travel than further out. Also, improved reservations. So securing more reservations with less effort, that means that Red Awning simplifies the reservation process and enhances the booking experience for both of your guests and property managers. Red Awning is user-friendly, a platform that streamlines the booking process, making it easier for travelers to choose your property and actually see them on the channels. Faster bookings means increase in reservations. And right now, that's what we were talking about. What is so tough right now, and the decrease in the reservations. So Red Awning partners with Price Labs to optimize pricing dynamically. This data-driven approach adjusts real rates in real time with competitive pricing. So we do offer dynamic pricing with Price Labs if that's something that you're interested in. I think Hostfully does as well. So that's something that you can work with either way. So whether you choose Red Awning or to work with Red Awning or not, Hostfully does have that option as well.
Hey, Barbara,
Yeah,
it looks like that Ryan has a question. If you could kind of elaborate what you mean by short fuse bookings a little bit. He wants to know if you
sure.
mean last minute bookings.
Yes, yes. So short fuse bookings, I'm sorry, that was the old hotelier days that just came out of me. Yeah. So short fuse bookings are last minute bookings. Especially with the difference in booking by generation. They tend to wait last minute to see how much money that they have, what deals are out there, since it's closer to the time of travel, hoping that the property manager or that the listing sites have a deal because it's closer to time to travel. So yes, short fuse bookings is last minute bookings. And Red Awning has a guarantee. And, we're so confident that we'll grow your business that we guarantee you at least a 10% increase. We're actually seeing about a 25% average, but we say at least a 10% increase in revenues in your first year as an exclusive partner. So that means if you partner with RedAwning exclusively, or we'll pay you back that difference. So we are commission based. It's a 10% commission and a 3% credit card fee. And that means everything is included in that 10% commission, even the channel's commission. So what we're saying is if we don't increase your revenue, we will give you back that 10%. Of course, it has to be like inventory that you had last year. You can't have only 5 this year and you have like 10 properties last year, but that is the guarantee. That is the guarantee. We do back that up. And I do want to give a shout out to Leroy Tanker. He is a Hostfully client, and he did give us a quote that he's truly impressed by his early results with RedAwning through their lightning launch process, and they did what they promised. Had me up and booking high volumes right off the bat. I'm looking forward to an amazing year with RedAwning. And they are a Hostfully client of ours and was one of the first in our partnership that we signed up, and they're doing great. Now, in summary, we've explored the challenges within the short-term rental market. We're recognizing the complexity that the property managers are having. And fortunately, we've introduced a valuable partner in RedAwning. So, in a nutshell, RedAwning offers a comprehensive solution to those challenges, allowing you to regain control of your time and enjoy peace of mind. By entrusting us to handle the intricate work and optimizing exposure and reservations, you're not only reducing your workload, but also ensuring your property thrives in this competitive landscape. And with 1.4 million properties or listings, I should say, out there, it is competitive. So picture yourself finally having the freedom to take a well-deserved vacation yourself, knowing that your properties are in capable hands. And I think we all could use one of those, right? And also think about that. Like when you're booking your vacation and you didn't have to work for a week, completely turning off your computer, how would you book? And is your properties on the same platforms on how you would book a vacation? So let RedAwning be your ally in achieving success while granting you the relaxation that you deserve. Your journey is more exposure and less work, and it all starts here. So I'm going to finish there and open the floor for any more questions.
Great work. This is awesome. Yeah, and go for it, Kelly.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Coulter. I was just going to mention that we did have some questions come in while you were presenting. Maybe just want to kind of recap a few things and clarify. I definitely want to maybe open up a session for later, asking for a friend about what kind of trends are for people in their 40s, asking for a friend, wink, wink. But I also wanted to double confirm for Mark Grinley. He wanted to confirm the commission rate per your booking and how that works.
Sure. So I'll go over the commission briefly again. So it's and you can always reach out to me. My email is here on this slide, but the commission is a 10% commission and a 3% credit card processing fee. So what that means is that we place you on all the distribution channels. We work with your Hostfully connection. We would pull all the rates and availability and calendars from Hostfully into the RedAwning system, disperse them out, and we will charge the card from the guest. So that means all the reservations from all the channels are guaranteed. If there's any chargebacks, we eat those chargebacks for you. Also $3,000 worth of damage protection for each reservation that comes your way, no matter what channel that it comes from. We also offer the website if you need us to create the website for you, professional photos, to go in and take professional photos for you, and the dynamic pricing that I mentioned, that's actually partnered with Price Labs, and that's all included in the 10% commission and 3% credit card fee. There are no other commissions that you have to pay to any of the other channels. It's inclusive in that 10% commission and 3% credit card processing fee. But keep in mind, on the more expensive channels, that we do increase your rates a bit to compensate for the commission that we are paying on your behalf to those channels. So we reconcile and manage your listings on all those channels, and we pay the commissions on your behalf to those channels. But it's not increased commission for you on those. It's inclusive in that 10%. Mm-hmm.
And then branching off of that as well, it sounds like then if you guys are the merchant of record, you're remitting the taxes on their behalf as well for those channels that you're required to be payment processor for?
Good question. Actually, no. So they'll have a Stripe account within RedAwning, okay? So if they are in a county which Airbnb and TripAdvisor does remit their taxes, then we will abide by those rules, and those will be the only two channels that will have their taxes paid. However, all other taxes will be remitted back to them, and they will pay them as they see fit. They can pull anything out of RedAwning in the portal if they need a tax report or how much that we collected, and it will also flow through into their Hostfully system. So yeah, that is a really good question. You will have a Stripe account, meaning that God forbid anything else crazy happens in the world, like the pandemic, and some PMs were losing money with Airbnb. That will not happen, because that Stripe account belongs to you, and those funds will be topped up on the day that they check in, and you'll see it directly deposited into the account of your choice in your Stripe account within 5 banking days after that.
And just to clarify, Savannah's asking, does the 10% commission per booking that comes from RedAwning, and then the 3% credit card fee per booking as well, or just a month?
It's per booking.
Okay.
So there's no onboarding costs, no upfront fees. Basically, when you make money, we make money. So it's per booking, and we take that out automatically before we pay you. So you will get an itemized, reservation statement for each reservation with the 10% out of there and the 3% credit card processing fee. Michael also asked, is there a positive trend towards super flexible cancellation policies? Yes, Michael. Yes. You get higher ranking, and you'll get more of more conversion if you have a more flexible cancellation policy. Did I miss any questions? Are you using AI? I think I already went over that, but yes, we partner with companies that do use AI on specific things. I couldn't tell you exactly what they're using it for. I know like Price Labs is using it for scraping for pricing and trends. I use AI personally. For example, this webinar. I had to go to a conference, and I needed a layout super quick. So I used AI and ChatGPT to put my information in to make sure that I spelled things right. And, some of my email templates of follow-ups, I use AI for things like that. RedAwning, personally, I do not think that we use AI for anything right now except for on the marketing side of things. So if we're creating one-pagers or the website, when people are entering their information in the website or the forms, I know that AI is assisting us that way. Or any of our teams that maybe overseas, that automatically translates into a language that they would understand, because we have US based teams and we have Indonesia based teams. So I believe that's all we're using AI for, but I could ask if you want a more elaborate answer.
And And then looks like there's one question at the top there that came in from Trisha. Is there a contract period or can we cancel at any time?
Yes, it's a 1 year term contract. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And if anyone else has questions, feel free to keep tossing them in there. I think we've got most of those questions answered off the top of our head here, making sure.
Coulter, and I just want to reshare that link to the Hostfully RedAwning partnership, just in case anybody missed that. So please feel free to check it out. I'm going to post it there in the questions for you guys.
Yeah. And I just reemphasize, I mean, it takes a lot of the typical day-to-day headaches of being a full-time property manager off of your plate. You can let RedAwning handle a lot of that channel management like Barbara referred to earlier, but you get that free subscription with Hostfully on the back end where you really have the ability to keep up to date with all the reservations you've got in place. You've got all the financial data, reporting, living within Hostfully. You've got integrations with like QuickBooks, for example, to help with that tax paying process. And of course, you've got the unified inbox with Hostfully as well. So if you do need to do any guest communication, you will have that messaging ability within Hostfully. So you kind of tag team it with RedAwning, which is fantastic. And you take a lot of that nitty gritty work of getting those reservations, maintaining your channels that RedAwning takes off your plate. And then you have Hostfully as a back end tool to make sure that everything is working and communicated as you need it to be to those guests. And looks like we just got one more question, just clarifying the fees, asking are the guests charged by the channels in addition to RedAwning, i.e. Airbnb will charge the guests in addition to RedAwning.
Yeah, so for example, for simple math, if your base rate and fees that you're pushing over to us is $100, out of that $100, you're going to get $90 back. Well, I should say 87 because of the, the credit card fee, right? So $87 back. The guest will see, well, on Airbnb, they'll see 105. So on their base rate, they'll see 105 clear across the board on all channels. We always increase the rate, and I'm sorry, this is going to get confusing, but we always increase the rate on all channels. The base rate 5%, right? The remainder that's increased is on the fee side so that you stay competitive and in parity, right? So for example, on Airbnb, they're going to see a rate of 105. On VRBO, they're going to see a rate of 105. But on the fees on VRBO, they may see a 5% increase on the fees as well. On Booking.com and on Expedia, they're going to still see that base rate at 105, but their fees are going to be higher. So there's going to be like a 10 to 12% increase on the fee side for Booking.com and Expedia. And yes, the guest will pay that, not the property management company. A lot of property management companies are increasing their fees anyway and working directly with the channel. So what they're doing is, for example, working on Booking.com, they're paying anywhere from 15 to 18% commission, but they're having to, even though they directly connect with their calendar, right? But they're still having to log into the extranet, report the no-shows or their credit card decline, pay that 15 to 18% commission, do all that work. That means they're increasing their rates 15 to 18% before they're giving it to Booking.com and paying that 15 to 18% commission on that increased rate. So at least with RedAwning, you're always paying a 10% commission on your base rate and fees, and then we're marking it up for the guests to pay. So you're not having to pay a commission on those channels on an increased rate, if that makes sense. We can talk one-on-one if I have to do more math for you to understand, because I know everybody learns differently, but that kind of helps me out when I talk it out with people like, hey, aren't you doing it anyway? So you're increasing your rate before you're even paying a commission. So in reality, you're paying a higher rate and you're doing more work. So.
Awesome. And then that looks like one more question from Ryan saying he's got 55 properties and communication is the biggest pain point with that amount of listings, which I can certainly relate to, Ryan. You are not alone. So does he understand that RedAwning helps with that communication portion? And if so, do you have any examples as to how that could take place?
Oh my gosh, that's what we're here for. We take all the calls, we take all the inquiries, we answer all the questions from all the guests on all the channels before they check in. We give them a puff piece 30 days before they check in and 7 to 10 days before they check in, introducing the property management company so they know who to contact when they check in. You also will get the reservation information, how we receive it from the channel. So if you wanted to send out anything extra, because we know Hostfully has some great templates, you can do that as well. But when it comes to that, we do all of the communication with the guest, from marketing your properties to the reservations up until the time that they check in. However, if there's a question that we can't answer, you will be contacted by RedAwning to get that answered. Or you may get a call once we introduce you from that, from that guest, if they got your number and ask you the question. But you have to think, I mean, we're reducing the questions by at least 85% that, that you would have to answer right now by yourself. Mm-hmm. Please keep in mind, though, if you don't like that, we do give you the option to answer your questions and inquiries from VRBO and Airbnb if you do not want us to do that. So you do have the option too.
Well, and how Jan's asked here, how does that work with direct bookings? Are you able to allow your clients to go ahead and continue direct bookings as well?
So we have two programs. The exclusive program that we're talking about, that Coulter mentioned, hey, we'll even pay for your Hostfully connection. You're using us for all channels. We're doing your website. We're sending out a photographer, and we're doing the dynamic pricing. Then we're also, we're also doing the website for the direct bookings, right? So that is still commissioned, off of the home website, I should say. Now, the other program, you can work with RedAwning still through your Hostfully connection. We can directly connect you to all the channels, still do all that work when it comes to reconciling on those channels and taking the calls from the guest, but you will not get the Hostfully fees paid. You will not get the direct website. You will not get the, professional photography and the dynamic pricing. But you will, you'll have your home site, however you have your home site, and those direct bookings will go in seamlessly through your Hostfully system that you, I'm sure, have connected to your home site, or however you have connected to your home site, and RedAwning will have nothing to do with those reservations. So it's one of two ways that you can work with RedAwning.
Beautiful. Let's see. I don't think there's any other questions right now, but before we let Barbara go, if you've got any last questions, feel free to toss those in there. But Barbara, is there anything else pop into your mind that you think might be helpful? I think we covered most everything on our end that I can think of, but just want to give you or Kelly one more opportunity to chime in here with any other info you might think be useful.
No, I think I went over what I was going to talk about. So I think I'm good on my side, unless you guys have anything else.
Kelly, do you have anything else to add here? And in the meantime, I'm going to publish one fun poll for you guys all. This has nothing to do with any of RedAwning or Hostfully, but we thought it might be fun for you to take a look at. And you know what the right answer is.
Coulter, I was just going to ask about your football question there. I did
but go for it, Kelly.
So I did post that link in there one last time. The Hostfully team will be reaching out. So if anybody has any questions, we're happy to, discuss things further with you guys, put you in contact with RedAwning as well. So just reach out. We're always here for you to help.
Absolutely. And we'll be following up with all of you at the end of this call here as well. We'll shoot you an email with all the information that we touched on today. So feel free. Don't, like Kelly mentioned, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us directly. We're here to be a resource, and of course, we'd love to work with you in any capacity or give any additional insights that we've got on our end. And let's make sure there's no final questions here. Looks like Kelly just posted that link again to the partnership, so feel free to give that a look. But otherwise, we'll give everyone some time back here. But Barbara, I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to you and the whole RedAwning team here again. We love the partnership, and it's been a great time for this 52 minutes we've had here with everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and letting me speak.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right. Well, we'll let you guys all go here. But like I said, keep an eye out for our follow-up. And of course, reach out to Barbara. They've got a wonderful program going. And if we can be of help here at Hostfully, we'd love to work with you as well. So hopefully we'll see you here on a future Hostfully webinar. But Barbara, Kelly, good work. I appreciate you both.
Appreciate you too, Coulter. Have a great day.
Thanks, Coulter. Thanks, Kelly.